Karen Lynn.
Hi, Judy.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm in your shop, but welcome.
Yeah. Welcome to Dundas kind of concept?
Yeah.
yeah.
I have the pleasure of having with me Karen Lynn Smith today in her lovely shop, Tessi and Company, on Thorpe Street, opposite the old Canadian Tire where Graham and Brooks used to be.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely beautiful here, Karen Lynn.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining me
Thank
today.
you. Thank you.
And I'm Judy Chapala with Revalio Inc. Brokerage. So tell me a little bit about your shop. What inspired you to open?
I guess the shop is, we call it eclectic because truly I've kind of had an eclectic background. So my two loves have always been fashion and plants, and I've always been a decorator too. So that's where the eclectic comes from. So our concept is we're all working together in one shop, and it's a whole bunch of small businesses. And we would like to work with the small businesses and kind of build their inventory selection more than do a whole bunch of little ones. Yeah, so we have some of our vendors are actually decorators and refinished furniture. Some does jewelry, and then even the plant girl is considered a vendor, and she's a landscaper, and then her love is also annuals, so she does containers and stuff. So yeah, so the inspiration probably came from a lot of my past lives. But the big thing that I really enjoy in a shopping experience at this point in time is a little bit of the origin story. I've been with some of the big brands, and I understand that they're building their brands specifically, like for an example, Anthropologie. They're not going to promote everybody, every designer they have in the store, every artist they have in the store. But in my situation, I would rather do that. I'd rather promote somebody's art instead of promote the actual store. Because there's a lot of us, and it's what they're doing is very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm essentially the host of what they're doing.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah,
So how many vendors would you have today?
We have about 15. Yeah, so like I said, even the plant girl is a vendor.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're in big time plant season, so that's why we have a lot of plants. But yeah. So even
You've
she
got
is.
some really unusual, what I think, yellow impatiens out there.
Yeah.
Which are just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's kind of neat about Mallory is the one who does the plants. And I know even people come in and they're like, even our indoor plants. There's people who are really into indoor tropicals and indoor little plants. They are, they usually have done a lot of research and everything, and even they say like, oh my gosh, she's got such interesting stuff. So even Mallory, she chooses what she loves, what she knows. We don't have A to Z for sure, but we have the stuff that she loves and we love. So so that's kind of fun too. Because you can even get to know her a little bit by what she chose.
It really stands out. All your plants are exquisite.
Oh, that's good.
They really are.
That's good. Yeah.
And so everything in your shop is from a vendor of some kind.
Typically, yeah. We have brought in a few things just because to support the plants. Like we've been buying a few pots. And I used to have a business that I used to sell handbags. My first business was called Tessi. And so I brought in some handbags because some of my people who knew me from my Tessi days, they've asked me to bring in handbags. So I brought some handbags in from a Canadian company from Vancouver.
Oh, great.
I'll
look at those.
Yeah, they're kind of a hiking bag. So the Dundas area has these gorgeous hiking paths. So I'm like, I'm a hiker, and so are my children. So, and one of my middle son, his girlfriend was wearing this really cool crossbody bag for hiking, so that's the one I brought in. Yeah.
So tell us about the name Tessi.
Yeah, so that was my horse's name. So I got my horse because I was probably in grade 8, and I think someday I thought I might have a little girl someday, and I would call her Tessi. That didn't happen, so I named my business Tessi.
And company.
And company, yeah.
So you have 3 sons.
Yeah, I have 3 sons. Yeah, my oldest is 29 and my youngest is 23.
Very nice.
Yeah, I have a stepson who's 23 and a stepdaughter who's 18 too.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, we're a big family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you in here every day?
Pretty much, yeah. Today is a day, well, we have Rotary, but I have a girl coming in. She's one of our vendors. She does the social media, and she's also Abominable Inc. She's also an artist. So she does a day a week, and so just so I can be away from the store. But generally I'm here every day.
And you're open 7 days, right?
7 days, yeah.
Right. And
yeah.
if somebody wants to become a vendor, can they just contact you and
Yeah.
they can show you what they have? And you
Yeah, through the website. It's like
Okay.
we have an application around the website. The website's great because I can kind of do a little bit of research around their Instagram and stuff like that too, so I can kind of get a sense of their products and stuff. Yeah.
Do you get a lot of inquiries?
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We try to, like I said, we're trying to build an experience in the store, so we don't want to have too much repetition. But also, we're looking for people to collaborate too. So when I go, like I've gone looking for a few vendors too, and I have some ideas of collaborations too. Like we've got totes that Tessi has collaborated with a fashion design company. So those are the kind of things we want to do, and that fashion design company wants to collaborate with one of our artists to do one of their streetwear designs with her, and so that kind of stuff is really important to us too. Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about your clothing line.
Yeah.
You've got a designer.
Yeah, so we have thrift, which is two different. I do thrift as well, and because my background is fashion too. And then I have a girl in Kitchener who does thrift, so we kind of put ours together, the two thrift together. And then we have a designer named Eleanor Geraldine, and she's from Hamilton Fashion Week, like she actually showcased there. And then we have another designer called Lost Era, and they're graduates, like university graduates in Burlington, and they've got a streetwear line, and it's a neat line because it's still got the connection to the past too. That's the Lost Era part. And then we also have one more designer. Her name's Rachel, but her company's called Nefarious, and she uses end-of-the-roll fabrics. So everyone, we do try to stick around the organic upcycling sustainability model. That's really important to us here, being plant people.
Yeah, excellent.
We have to keep in mind that. That's very important to us. Yeah.
And what are some of the other products that you have? Like, what are some of the sort of the interesting
So we have a girl. There's two girls actually that do cat rescue. And so this table and chairs that we're sitting on, she refinishes and collects different types of furniture as well as jewelry. And then her proceeds go completely to her cat rescue, which is kind of exciting, and people are very invested in that. I mean, she does it. She's amazing, but she pretty much has kitties with her every time she comes, even when she's painting furniture, because they have to be fed every 4 hours because they're usually rescued. So that's a neat story. And then I have a girl who she does renovations for a living. So she has a work crew and everything, and then she's been collecting these very pretty little containers, and she does lavender soy candles. So she's an interesting, their story is all very interesting. And one of my friends, like she was my friend before, she was the reason we came to Graham and Brooks. We came for a shopping day and we found this space. I think she's in her 70s. Anyway, she's never put her art anywhere, and people have just loved her stuff.
What does she have?
She's got the molded fabrics. It's kind of she has some stuff that you can put outside. She's behind us, but they're kind of character kind of interesting. And she's done a few pictures that are gorgeous and stuff too, but it's kind of a molding fabric stuff. But it also is around her collecting stones and rocks and fabrics and taking that and putting it into her art too. So it's definitely an upcycled version too.
It must be something that you really enjoy doing because it's got combined everything that you love, doesn't
Yes,
it?
100%. Yeah, definitely. I'm not an artist, but I've always loved. I find it fascinating how someone starts with a blank slate and just goes for it.
But like you say, there's always a story attached to how they get to where they are.
Yeah, definitely. And I think when you have a creative side, you do need to feed it. Yeah.
And what would you say you love most about what you do and what the shop's all about?
Well, me, I I'm a visual merchandiser by trade. That was what I used to do. So I like the playing with the product all day long. So I usually redo the store every couple of weeks.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, which is super fun. I love working with the vendors too. I do find them, their passion's exciting. Their customers have been amazing in Dundas. Like I grew up in a small town, and I lived in Dundas for 3 years. And I had this sense that I was meant to be in a store here, and that's part of why I moved here originally. It's got that small town feel that I used to know, and I'll be at the store and I'll get into a 20-minute, half-an-hour conversation with someone easily, because it's neat that everyone's so invested.
Yeah.
So I do love that. I can talk, obviously.
People love Dundas.
Yeah,
And
they really
love
do.
supporting local business,
Yeah.
which is what this is all about.
Yes,
You know,
definitely.
we don't have any chain stores except
Right.
for a couple in Dundas.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's all independent, which is
Yes,
fantastic.
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've walked around and talked to quite a few of the merchants, like even from before and stuff, and they're just as invested in Dundas as I am, so that's exciting.
Yeah. You see Graham and Brooks' new space?
Yeah, gorgeous.
Huge, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous. I'm so excited to see that building have stores and kind of bring it back to life. I know they used it for like a film set a lot because I used to walk by it all the time. But I think it's neat that that someone gets to be indoors in that space because it's gorgeous.
It sure is.
Yeah.
And what would you find is challenging about having your own business?
Yeah, I guess you need to recharge once in a while. I'm lucky because we have the doors wide open, so I get to get outside, and I do find that I need to be outside a good portion of my day, so I'm lucky that way. But you don't ever stop thinking about it. So there are days that I struggle just stopping the thoughts.
It's difficult.
Yeah, that's the part. But it does help that you outside is usually my thing that I can get away from and stuff. So So I know that's when I talk to other people about businesses, and even when I had my business before, that's the one thing. It's hard to find that moment to just disconnect for a minute.
It's balance in life,
It is.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is definitely. Yeah.
And what do you think you're most proud of?
I think I'm really proud of how we all came together, because we did it fast. Mallory's here, but she's expecting an order, but she was a rock star. So we got this building in February, the end of February. Well, we got it for March 1st, and me and my husband went and did a family wedding in Dominican the end of February. And then we came back March 1st, and we had a month to get ready. And then I lost my mom the last week of March, so a week before we were expecting to open. So that was definitely. I'm proud that life still carried on, and I was amazed that I already have enough of a collaboration that I can be away and on the phone more than physically here. I think it was really exciting for all of us that we were able to put this together in a short amount of time. So we're pretty proud of how fast it came about, because we had big plans.
That's you and your husband for the most part.
Me and my husband. Mallory was here all along, and then Julie, who does the social media, she was here with us quite a bit too. But me, my husband, and Mallory were the main ones of putting the stuff together.
It's a big space to fill.
It
How many
is.
square feet is it?
I don't know, actually. I'd have to look again at it, because I think when we first looked at it, we looked at the room square footage space. I don't think I've actually added it together. Yeah. And I'm excited that we're really proud of how well received the outdoor woman. We're really proud of her, because she was a whimsical kind of, thought. We weren't 100% sure how she was going to be received.
Tell us about the whimsical woman.
Yeah, so when we first were trying to put the store together and stuff, we wanted people to understand that we wanted kind of more of an experience store, so that you would want to kind of explore around a little bit. So we kind of thought, what can we do in the front of the store without, obviously there's limits and stuff, that people will kind of get who we are before they even open the doors. So my friend Henny, the one I was telling you that does the, she does the fabric molding, she actually did the bust. So me and her went and found, you know, a women's mannequin, and then she did the bust. And then we tried to, you know, then it was April, so we had to figure out the skirt and stuff. So we're, yes, but when it was a bit of a, we weren't sure if people were going to be like, oh my gosh, what is that, you know, in a negative way, but it's very exciting to see people taking pictures with her. Yeah. So she's a good moment, actually.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
she sort of represents what you want the shop to be.
Yeah, and even the fact that she's going to be constantly changing, which will also be the shop too, because we'll be very seasonal, right? Because we're craft people. Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine at Christmas how beautiful it will be.
I know. Yeah, we're excited about that, but she'll be kind of part of our seasonal change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Karen.
For sure.
I've enjoyed talking to you.
Yes, nice chatting with you.
Encourage people to come out and have a look. It's Tessi and Company opposite the old Canadian Tire in what used to be Graham and Brooks next to Circle of Life.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Cootes Drive. 43 Cootes Drive.
43 Cootes Drive.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Karen.
Thanks, Judy.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.